alright, innit? Get in! 6 fucking times. The Reds did it. The Reds did it in Madrid. And we're here to have a bit of a chat about it and be soft, because if you can't be soft after you've won the European Cup, then when can you? It's called the second look. The idea that anyone's taking a second look in any seriousness at this game, at this point, is absolute bollocks, because, you know, everyone's been out celebrating, everyone's been out watching parades. Kopi and Rob have been getting back from Madrid. I watched it in Liverpool. I'm still recovering from watching it in Liverpool. I'm still walking around Liverpool with a massive smile on my face, and I'm not sitting down to look at what the fullbacks were doing between 20 and 40 minutes in this game or whatever.
We're not cutting away to Neil to do what the fullbacks are doing for 10 to 20 minutes.
I don't know, it never got mentioned, so let's presume not. We can only do a shorter show today for a few technical reasons, so it never got mentioned that there's a Neil insert, so you'll have to wait for tactics boards. But listen, there'll be loads of opportunities. We've got all summer, all year to bang on about this. Me and Rob have just been talking about the idea that we're unbearable Liverpool fans, we're unbearable us Reds, we'll watch us fucking go after we've done this. We have got a year of saying that we are the champions of Europe, not just this weekend, not just the other night, all fucking year. And who knows, it might be us winning it again when we get to the final next year, number 7, that'll be alright. But let's do number 6 first. Rob Gutmann, Paul Cope and me, to have a chat about how boss it all was. Rob, go ahead.
I don't know. I've done these all season with you, and I don't know how to begin here. I don't know how to begin. I've just done another one. I'm doing loads of shows today, and they've all got different themes. So I'm doing a gutter show after this, transfers, and every single one's going to be just yay. We won the European Cup again.
Oh, a big thanks, by the way, to Damien Cavanagh for the blow-up cup of post-match pint fame. He gave it to me and said, if we win it, get it on a show. Well, there it is. Damien's been great all season, so I had to follow the instructions, so that's why we've got that.
Well, if we're doing shout-outs, I was in Madrid, and like Paul, one of the tens of thousands of ticketless hordes, and I went with my 2 lads, and we didn't have a ticket between us, but a very kind subscriber, Simon Whale, if you're watching Simon, got us a ticket. My eldest lad bagsied it, so he got to go in the ground, but still felt like one of us was representing it. I'm very grateful to you, Simon.
There was another subscriber as well, to be fair, who did offer me one late on, so thanks to him. I think it ended up going to Andy, but again, we're all very appreciative of stuff like that. Unfortunately, I'd already decided I wasn't going, I couldn't afford it, I didn't have a ticket, etc, etc, etc. But you know what? I was fine watching in Liverpool. I was with my mates. I got to cry and hug with my mates, and you know, what more do you want? But yeah, well, let's just start at the start of the match, I guess. Yeah. You know, we get the penalty early on. I think no one can barely believe that that's happening.
Are we actually talking about the match?
Yeah, we're actually talking about
it. Let's go. I haven't even thought about the actual match.
Let's talk as much as we can.
Sorry to knock you out your stride.
We can intersperse it with just being...
No.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'll talk anything you like about Liverpool.
Yeah, go on. Let's start with the match, because it's meant to be the match about this
right,
show.
It is. That's this one.
So, yeah, penalty early on.
Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it? Yeah, we were all just settling into our sweaty pits of bars in Madrid, well, from mine and Paul's experience. And then suddenly, before anyone's even calmed down, there's a penalty out of nowhere. It was really, it seems soft to say, surreal. But
well, even the next day, one of my mates went to me, it was after 20 seconds that, you know, and it's one of them where
yeah.
you're like...
Is that all it was?
Yeah,
I think it was 5 minutes.
Yeah, I did.
Literally like the first, they knocked the ball around, goes out to Mane, Mane's in the box, arms out, penalty given. And it's like, yeah.
Do you know something weird about
barely a sip of the pint.
Sadio Mane's been a hero all season, but he's played through. I mean, he's been picked a lot. No rests at all. But you could tell from his first touch that he was fresher. Read that 3 weeks. And I thought he played really well throughout. But it's the way he positioned his body, even just to start clipping. I thought something's going to happen here. You know, when Sadio's in the mood, he can go outside, he can go inside. Something's going to happen. And
it's
almost like he put it on his arm. I know people have said that.
When you watch, like, because I was saying before, I watched the highlights on the way in because I didn't have a fucking clue what had happened, to be honest. But when you watch stuff like this back in this, the thing I made up most about this game is all the players afterwards like, we were shite. That was shite. We played shite and we won, and that's all that matters. And if you're a Spurs fan, you're going, why are you pointing, mate? Why in the first minute of the European Cup final have you got your arm out in the box pointing at something? What are you trying to do?
He does block. He does. It hits his arm. He is definitely trying to block it. He's very terrified.
There's a movement, isn't he? I think it's the thing. If you look at the penalty that United got, for instance, in their European campaign, I mean, fucking hell. But it's literally, it's out there. Everyone saw that penalty. Everyone saw that penalty get given on VAR. And surely players and fans and managers across Europe go, okay, so it's now a thing that if you're wafting your arm around and a deliberate move is made, that's what they said. That's what the ref said. And it was given on VAR. are. So everyone knew from that point in that it's really harsh. Like you say, you're in the box, you've got your arm waving around. What are you doing, lad?
Yeah. He meant to handball it, I think, much more comprehensively than he managed to. I think his instinct was to block that. I think he actually fucks up the block, and that's why there's even a slight debate about it. I was still prattling on, probably to you, Paul, going, VR's going to cancel that. And then Salah's actually thought, would it stop? Is it going to pull him up? Well, he's actually got the ball on the spot and he's giving it a little polish. When's it going to pull up? I go, fucking hell. And then you move to looking at Mo Salah's face and you think, oh shit, he looks more frightened than I would be doing this. And then you remember the most shit at penalties anyway, so it can't make it any worse. And then it's in the net.
I don't know how shit he is at pens, by the way, but he scores.
Yeah.
It's mad. Like his one for Egypt, I always look back at that and go, that's a terrible
I thought they're awful
but it goes in, and you're like, fair play.
That one was a bit too close for comfort. I mean, it goes in and the net burst and you're happy and you're jumping around and it's all that matters. But, you know, obviously, because we're not in the ground watching it on the telly, you're then getting the replays. And when you're getting the replays, you're like,
yeah, close. Just stand still. You saved that.
But I think what's like, I've seen, you know, I read all the, like you do, you know, read all the reports that you can, take as much information as you can, buy all the newspapers because they all look great because they got Liverpool on the front, all that kind of thing. And when I was doing that, you know, there is obviously loads of mention of it's a poor game, it's a poor performance, Spurs have more possession, etc, etc, etc. And then there's loads of, and even a questionable penalty. We don't care. We don't fucking care. We've got the big number 6. It's in Liverpool. It lives at Anfield. It's ours. And it's like, you know, not bothered. Like, it's not the romantic performance. It's not the champagne football. But it's a result in a performance that has got us number 6. And I think the sort of the resilience, the will to just make it happen, to win it, that is something to herald. That's something to be happy about, the fact that we did that. Because I'd much rather we do that than play great football and lose, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the deserving aspect of it. It's important that we deserve to be European champions. And we do. This is why it's a much bigger thing than Istanbul, because that was just a fantastic outcome, really, and it topped a weird season off. But we knew we weren't the best team. This confirmed we were the best team. And the fact that the last game wasn't our best performance is irrelevant. It was a culmination of 2 years' work, really, where we've beaten all the best sides in Europe. Spanked, I said this on an earlier show, spanked City, spanked Barcelona, spanked Bayern Munich, Napoli, PSG, you list them, Europe's top sides have been systematically dismantled by this Liverpool team. And it's a bit like talking about our Roma semi-final last year and say, well, the Liverpool didn't play well in that second half, did they? Who gives a fuck? Yeah. Liverpool deserved to be there. Yeah. Liverpool put themselves in the position to do that. And make no mistake, had we not got a penalty on 30 seconds and we'd had to grind Spurs down, it'd have probably looked a lot prettier on the eye eventually and probably been about 3-0. But that's the way games play out when you score early. And as you say, who gives a big one?
But also as well, like, you know, when you watch your first time round and obviously you're full of this anxious, nervous energy, you know, you're so desperate for Liverpool to do it. And, you know, I now know through speaking to lots of people that I was very much not alone in crying my eyes out when Divock Origi scores that goal. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we've fucking done it. But, like, in the build-up to that, though, you know, around sort of 83, 84, 85 minutes, Spurs have a little flurry, don't they? Yeah. And the keeper makes some decent saves there. But even that, when you watch it back, it's a bit like, you know, even just on the highlights, it's like, they're good saves. But, you know, there's that other one, isn't there, where you're like, oh my God, how's he missed that chance? And then it was offside anyway, so he was arsed. It wouldn't have counted. He could have put it in the top bin.
It's the Dele Alli
and it's offside, where they're all jumping at the far post, and you're like, oh shit. But then it's offside. It's offside. So scrub that one off, that's gone. Yeah. And then it's essentially 3 saves, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he has to make. And that's the difference. This is the thing now, isn't it? Once you've got a goalie like him, you can set up to go, they can hit it from there. That's all right. We're all right with him having a shot from 30 yards because our keeper will probably just save it, and that's fine. And he's incredible, by the way. What a goalkeeper! It was dead funny though, because where we were watching it in this mad ice cream parlour or whatever it was, getting table service bottles, and we probably drank our body weight in white wine, and the screens went off. With 5 minutes to go, the screens went off, so we're watching on our phones, trying to like
Twitter updates. I was like, come on, score.
Yeah, but because I was saying to everyone, even at that point, Spurs had some chances and like half chances and stuff. But if they score there's a comeback on the cards, isn't there? And we've just got this boss goal. He's just like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll just box us now.
Yeah, we saw, I don't think we even saw the final whistle. We saw Liverpool lift the cup on my son's phone, about 8 of us huddled out around it on a street in Madrid with lads vomiting, crying, pyro going off. Yeah. You couldn't walk down a side street in Madrid without seeing pyro or reds Anyway, that's another show.
Liverpool was the same. Liverpool was absolutely the same. It was brilliant. It was madness. People literally pouring out of bars. You know, like, and it was like where I watched it was just so hot. It was unbelievable. You know, the body heat of just so many people crammed into a room. Yeah. But it was absolutely brilliant. In terms of what we've done then as well.
Yeah.
You know, we've made it number 6, and we talked about this just a minute ago before we pressed record on this, if you like that. We've now being 6 times European Championships, we've moved above Barcelona, we've moved above Bayern Munich, and we've beaten both of those sides as well on the way. It all feels like it's all sewn together nicely. But it's absolutely huge, isn't it? I mean, this is brilliant for everyone connected to Liverpool, the city, Liverpool, the club. It's just absolutely huge. It helps massively with everything, doesn't it? You know, recruitment of players, keeping players, just the name of Liverpool. I mean, you know, we were saying about, you know, when's the point where we're allowed to go, to everyone else, to the Evertonians. But, you know, I've seen Evertonians moaning about it as they do, and one lad I really enjoyed. I was going to retweet it, and I just thought, nah, but I'll just laugh at it. And he's going, it's football tourism. That's what that is. It's football tourism. Well, you know what? If it is football tourism, mate, that, you know, there's 750,000 people in the city of Liverpool. Well, guess what? That's good for Liverpool, mate. It's good for the economy of the city you live in. Whether you like that or not, you probably should like it. And there was another one. There was Luke Garbutt, who used to play for Everton.
Oh yeah.
Put some weird thing out about, like, you know, if you're anywhere near that parade and you're a blue, there's something wrong with you. You're either red or blue at the end. And it was a bit like...
Was he with his curtains drawn, the telly off?
Well, someone's made a little video, haven't he? Like, there was a fella getting in the loft, have you seen it? and it's just like, you know, give us a shout in 12 months.
Like it's the Blitz.
Like it's a setup.
Stay underground, do not come out.
But it is, I mean, you know, the mirror there has got on the front history makers, and you just think, don't you, you know, Klopp's such a great fella. We played some great football en route to this final that everyone's seen, particularly that Barcelona game. Like, you're going to do a transfer show. You could tell me anyone in the world now is coming to Liverpool, and I go, yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. The whole thing about this is there's just layers and layers of stuff to be enjoyed. As I said to Kobe, I'm beginning my official week of celebration, which will be a day each layer. I'm going to peel off, get drunk, and could be a nuisance somewhere. Social media mainly. I started last night, to be fair. But yeah, to me, this is a different moment. We've had some good times, really. Istanbul and the Cup and the treble and all sorts of it. And this journey, this season's been, but this feels like the reboot of the Liverpool I grew up with. This is what I know we haven't won the league, but this is the 29 years of her. Istanbul was a major thing. But as I said earlier, we weren't back, you know? Yeah. We weren't back on our perch, as Ferguson called it once upon a time. We are back on our perch because anyone can argue about who's the best team in the world, but they'll have to make a very strong case for saying why Liverpool Football Club aren't the best team in the world right now. And that's the team I grew up with. And even more than the number 6, which is a good thing, is that this is the marker point. And hopefully the start of the
That's a big thing, isn't it, Kobe? That it is the aspect that we're here to stay now. You know, the 97 points bolted onto the fact that they've done that. You know, that's amazing. You know, they're 1 point, a couple of goals, one match, whatever you want to call it, away from also winning the league. Yeah. And you know, clubs aren't routinely doing stuff like that. That's amazing. That's an amazing performance. And all of a sudden now as well, you know, you must have been among them where, you know, you just worried, a small party, or even if it was only a small party, you're worried psychologically about the idea of getting 97 points and losing that final, what that could have done to the collective. Now, it's the other way, isn't it? Now, all of a sudden, you're like, bring me the Charity Shield, bring me the Super Cup, bring me the Premier League, I want everything. And this Liverpool side's capable of winning everything. Yeah,
I mean, we've talked about this in the weeks building up to this, and I was saying about Jordan Henderson in particular, like, there's a sliding doors moment here for him, where this, I mean, what we see now with all of the, I mean, I saw Neil before, and the biggest emotion everyone felt, that's why everyone cried, was relief.
Yes.
Like, it's such a let-off. You were saying before about the trophy lift. For Jordan Henderson, that relief must be incredible. But all of the other stuff that goes in, and this is why the rest of the country's shitting themselves about it, because the power behind this is frightening. With what we've got on the pitch, with what we've got with Klopp, with who everyone wants, everyone loves, the team, the players, the average age, and then you've got, like, it was funny because we came through Paris on the way back and had a day celebrating in Paris, so we got L'Equipe, and they've got the big Jordan Henderson trophy lifted that, and at the top was just a story about Mbappe, and I read to the lads, it's not coincidence that. Like, he'll form part of this now, because that's what we should be doing. We should be on the phone to Mbappe and say, lad, come and have a go here, you'll love it. Look at these scenes. You don't get these scenes at other football clubs. This is wild. And for all of the lads who were on that bus, they're looking at each other going, want more of this. We want to do this again, don't we? Let's go out and beat more teams. And we've seen it in the past. It happened with United, where they'd waited so long for something, and then they won one, and then they took off. Yeah. And the big thing for me, this is so Liverpool. It is so Liverpool, and the Blue Roses elated and all that, but it's true. Like, they've been banging on for ages that we haven't won a trophy, and then we go and win the biggest fucking one out there. Yeah. That's it. We just win, not the League Cup. We don't find our way back in that way. We win the Champions League like this. And we do this on our streets of our city. The footage, I don't know whether everyone's seen this, there's footage of Java, Indonesia, and it's like this. And you're like, this is a huge football club. Just the celebrations and the flares, and this is, and I don't think it's going too far to say that this could be an era of domination now from this team.
Yeah, we're not jinxing it, but Jesus Christ, you couldn't ask for better foundations, could you?
No.
It's a very, I mean, what's amazing, Sadio Mane is talking routinely in some of the post-match interviews, was our aim next season is to win the league and the European Cup, and he's not giving it the big one. Yeah. He's just stating the facts here. That's our stage. That's where we go from now on. He actually made me think, what if we'd actually won the league as well? Yeah. I mean, wow. And the truth is, if we had won both, then you'd suddenly be saying what is the truth, that this is the greatest Liverpool side of all time and one of the greatest sides of all time. Because they're saying that about a Man City team that hasn't won the fucking European Cup. Yeah. It's got one more point than this in the league and hasn't come anywhere near winning this European Cup and didn't come near winning it last year. And it's maybe the greatest side in British football, you know, quite and fairly so. That's a reasonable shout with 9-point average over 2 years. We're as good as them. Tell me we're not.
But you feel as well, don't you, that it feels like Liverpool have learned big lessons from the past. And so, you know, I walked through town last night having caught the parade twice in Allerton and then on the Strand. Yeah. And when I walked through town afterwards and went and had a pint, I noticed right in the middle of the town they directed this a shop basically to sell official merchandise.
It's ruthless.
And ruthless, but also I thought, do you remember in the past when the souvenir shop or the little souvenir shop at Anfield was shut?
Istanbul.
And everyone was like, where's the stuff? You know,
was it an official store?
Yeah, an official one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
Liverpool FC one, that's what I'm saying. So someone's had to think, if we win, this is something we should be doing. Same, and what I want to see now is Liverpool be bold, big, brash. You know, I wake up this morning, I put on BBC Sport, and there's Tom Werner there saying, we want to give Jurgen Klopp a new contract. Is right. Yeah. You know, we're linked to Mbappe. Is right. I hope there's something in it then. You know, I want to hear what's happening about Anfield Road now. Build it. Let the people come, because they will come. Do you know what I mean? And just go, this is the fucking platform to be fucking huge. And City have got all that money and blah, 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 but they haven't got the history, they haven't got support like that, and they haven't got the opportunity to build it like we can build it.
They can't buy themselves 114 points, the cunts. They can't. Do you know what I mean? There's no more money that
Get that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's it. Done, finished.
Well, they can't. They can't. So we know the target, and we nearly hit it, and we're coming for it. And their money isn't buying them European Cups either. So, okay, it's grossly unfair. I hope UEFA kick them in the bollocks every which way, and the Premier League do too. But meanwhile, we're staying there. Actually, do you know what we need? I was thinking about this. We need the rest of the big six, the useless fuckers, Tottenham, Arsenal, United, Chelsea, to actually take some points off City. Yeah. We actually need them to all go out a bit better. But meanwhile, we are light years ahead of them. I'd just like us to get a grip of that. The fixtures are going to be interesting in a week's time. I want us to get a reasonable start for once, not like peppered like we always get with top 6 games, and get a proper run at this and take that league with a lead early on and see what City can do about it.
But it feels like we've got a real grip on what we need to do to win the league now, doesn't it? I know like we didn't, but 97 points, Jesus Christ. And then it's like also though, you know, in the past you used to worry about Liverpool and go, all these teams that come and they don't even want to play us, they're just trying to get a point, they're just trying to stop us. That happened all season, and Liverpool dealt with that pretty much over and over again. Okay, there's draws in there, there's perform. You want to really pick at the scab and say, they lost it here, they lost it here. You can do that if you want, but you're a bit weird if you do, because we've won the European Cup and got 97 points. But you know, that memory of what it takes now is there. And so it's just a few marginal gains here and there, and you're over 100, surely. Because everyone, I know there's the argument about, well, everyone will improve, everyone will buy players. But United are shit, and they've got a shit manager. You can't see them all of a sudden challenging with a title. Chelsea are in flux with their managerial situation, and Eden Hazard going and all this kind of stuff. Arsenal, lol, you know, etc., etc. So it's like, you know, Liverpool are in position. Obviously, City are too. City aren't going away, but it's going to be us and them head to head again. But we've had that memory of coming so close.
Yeah, there's loads in this. You've got to put into context that very few teams ever do what we've just done and make up 25-point gap in the space of 12 months. Spurs aren't going to do that. It's just too difficult. And even when you look back in when sort of the dust all settles on all this stuff, it's very rare for a team to go from fourth to first. That doesn't really happen. So this step we've taken this season in the league was a natural step to take. Even Salah started talking about that. Yeah, we got to a European Cup final last year, and now we won it this year. We finished second in the league this year. We've got that experience. Now we go. And the other thing I really like about it is, if you watch back over the past few months, Jurgen Klopp had already started talking about 105 points, just dropping it in. And I remember at the time, you're just like, that's mad, isn't it? Like he's already putting in the players' heads. All right, don't moan about it. You can cry and say, well, we got the record points tally to finish second, or you can just say, we'll just get an extra 8 points next year and just win it. Take it out their hands, because if they get 100, fine, we'll get 105. And I love all that. And this factors into all this other stuff as well, which is filtering around Europe now. And it was one of my favourite things about the weekend. Now that Wenger's retired and Mourinho's out for a job, they're both there going, they're boss, by the way. Watch them go now. It's incredible. I love watching it, and when they're saying things like, oh, just so you know, everyone's petrified of them, no one wants to draw them, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because every time someone gets us in a European Cup or any game in the league, we become that team then where people go, unlucky lads, you don't want them, because even if you're 3-0 up in a two-legged game, it's like, they'll still beat you.
Yeah, I think there's it's not the brand perception, but the perception changes when you win things. Jordan Henderson, I mean, I know everyone goes, oh, it's redemption for Jordan. It's more than redemption and validation that he's a good footballer and deserves to captain our club. He's of a quality level that the world can see, that can play at this level and win trophies and dominate a league. So, and so is Gini Wijnaldum. They're not these sort of 7 out of 10, even our own supporters. If you go on, you know, I'm about to do a transfer show after this. He goes, well, our midfield, they're good, honest lads, the Ginnies, the Jordans, the James Milners. They're good 7 out of 10 players who put a lot of running in. A bit more than that, aren't they, lads? Yeah. They're more like Clarence fucking Seedorf, do you know what I mean? Yeah. They're at the level of European greats now. It's just a fit. The way sort of Terry McDermott, Jimmy Case, Ray Kennedy, they were regarded in the same sort of way back in the 70s and early 80s, until they suddenly clocked up all these European Cup wins, and people had to go. And Bob Paisley, went on in documentaries going, you do realise Ray Kennedy was the best midfielder in Europe that everyone wanted to buy off me, don't you? Because the press didn't know it, the fan base didn't know it, but he was just winning stuff.
Yeah, all of a sudden, we have got a squad full of European Cup winners, and that's the difference now. All of these players now are defined by the fact that they won, well, not this, but you know, but the European Cup, and that's the big difference now. They will play like European Cup winners. I can't wait to watch the European Cup winners play football again. I know that's mad when it's the summer, but you know, we're mad, aren't we? We all love our footy. Liverpool's boss. The City's shown what it's all about over the weekend. The team shown what it's all about all over the weekend. There's going to be loads more from the wrap. We've got to wrap this one up because of our aforementioned technical difficulty. Don't worry about that. And by the way, if anyone knows where to get myself a Blag European Cup, you know, the big proper one that looks boss, let me know, because we want one for this table. Up the fucking Reds, that's been the second look.